Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf is not a party before us.
Elections must be genuine. People must have trust and confidence in the integrity of the electoral process. Here, serious questions have been raised, and there is a petition. We have been informed in this court, raising questions about the process of elections.
The fact is that they challenge virtually everything in Pakistan. Why was that decision not challenged?
Millions of voters out there voted for these people, and as an apex court, don't you think we need to look at their interest and their right to vote? I mean, how was that right taken away and a person declared to be independent by ECP when ECP had no such power?
I think there's a fundamental question which I don't know why all this discussion is taking place. I'm hearing the case as pleaded before me. Why they should have not pleaded another case, I don't know. There is, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf is not a party before us. Not a single one of the elected candidates are a party before us. Whether the Election Commission of Pakistan was erroneous or correct, the fact is that they challenge virtually everything in Pakistan. Why was that decision not challenged? We must not set up different cases from the ones that have been pleaded. The party before us is the Sunni Ittihad Council. I shouldn't do it, but since it's being said and it has been widely televised, the earlier case that was heard, this had been even observed from this bench by myself. If somebody bothers to go and check the record, it will be somewhere in the ether, you can see it. That is not the case before us. The case before us is of Sunni Ittihad Council saying that give me reserved seats and give me non-Muslim seats. There is no PTI before us saying give me these seats. There is no candidate before us which is saying there's only candidate who's a potential candidate, which doesn't even come in the feature. She is not an elected person. So why are we having this debate? This is not the case before us. I mean, if PTI felt that way, they have elected to cast all their eggs with the Sunni Ittihad Council. They have elected to sail with them. How can we say, no, we'll take you out and we'll give you something which you have not even asked, or you're not bothered to come, nor have you challenged? Fine, Election Commission makes good decisions. Election Commission may also make bad decisions. There's a whole legal process. Now, if we cannot observe without anyone challenging something that certain decision is bad of the Election Commission, and if it was bad, come forward and challenge it. Now, I don't know why we're having this discussion when there is no PTI, none of the elected candidates who were previously in the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf before us. This question, and it's not suddenly come up, this petition has been everybody knows about this petition. So I don't see why are we having this debate. If they were before us, this was an issue, they didn't go to the Peshawar High Court. They didn't do anything. And the only person who's aggrieved before us is the Sunni Ittihad Council saying, these are my candidates. Now we have to either accept their contention or reject their contention and uphold the judgment of the High Court. As simple as that. Now, why didn't they do this? Whether there was pressure, whether there was no pressure, I will not go on any premise or conjecture. I go on facts as demonstrated by documents. If there are facts as demonstrated by documents, please argue it. The whole world may know about something. That's not the way judges operate. Judges operate by what comes before them in a pleading. That's how they operate. Otherwise, you'll say, he committed murder. I know it. No, we'll see the evidence that comes before the court of law. That will be the determining factor. So why are we having this? Because I don't hear an answer from you. And why are we going into this conjectural thing, if this may have happened, or if this... They've chosen that. That's what I was from day one concerned. Why is PTI not coming forward? They've chosen not to. They think they've got... They think... I don't know, whatever. I don't want to speculate what they think.
My Lord, may I?
Makhdoom,
no, can you respond?
My Lord,
just add to that question. So why we're having this debate is because it is not relevant what party is before us. As the Apex Court, don't you think it's our responsibility to protect the rights of the electorate? There are millions of people who voted, so the right to vote is sacrosanct, and that has to be protected.
Then I would
so
say
the right of vote, I haven't finished yet.
Okay.
So the right of vote has to be looked into. If the right of vote has been deprived from a particular political party, it is for the Apex Court to look into it. So it's a very basic question that people voted for some candidates who submitted their nomination papers as PTI affiliates. How did the Election Commission come up and say you're independent? That is the starting point of the debate, because millions of voters out there voted for these people, and as an Apex Court, don't you think we need to look at their interest and their right to vote? I mean, how was that right taken away and a person declared to be independent by ECP when ECP had no such power? And then all the things start from there. Then you get into the SIC and whatever. But the question is, how were they declared independent when they never opted out of that affiliation with the PTI?
Hi, Mr. Makhdoom Ali Khan. Today I was reminded of the oath which I gave to 3 judges. Nowhere it says, it simply says abide by the Constitution and the law. And that's what I'm doing. And that's what my legal constitutional duty is. There are many concerns in society. Who addresses those? I don't know. That's not my concern. My concern is to simply follow the Constitution and the law.
My Lord,
Where is the electorate mentioned in the oath?
May I add to this? In my speaking for myself, the most fundamental right is the right to vote. And if the Constitution has to be upheld, it is implicit in the Constitution that the elections must be genuine, and the people must have trust and confidence in the integrity of the electoral process. Here, serious questions have been raised, and there is a petition we have been informed pending in this court, raising questions about the process of elections. Now, we cannot just sit in a bubble, and I absolutely concur with Justice Mansoor Ali Shah that it is a very, very serious and fundamental issue. If the Constitution has to be upheld, then it is our duty to also ensure that there was no political engineering, the elections were genuine. If they were not genuine, then I'm afraid the Constitution has also been violated, and we would also be violating our oaths.
my Lord, may I say...
As per my understanding, as we are sitting here under Article 195.3, we must go with that article. We are hearing an appeal. All other matters are maybe under 184.3 or any other provision of the Constitution. But what needs is by the Council and the Court that go in accordance with the provision of the Constitution and hear and appeal and decide that.
ये मखदूम साहब, इसमें ये 168 पेज पे ये डिक्लेरेशन है, ये फॉर्मेट है जो कि, और ये ऑन ओथ है। 168 पे जो इसके एक एक पैराग्राफ बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, और ये सलमान अकरम राजा साहब का एफिडेविट है जो कि स्वर्न किया गया बिफोर एन ओथ कमिश्नर। तो इसके अंदर नंबर 1 जो आ रहा है, आई द अबव मेंशन्ड कैंडिडेट हियर बाय डिक्लेयर ऑन ओथ, उसके बाद जो 3 लाइंस हैं वो बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट हैं। उसके बाद उन्होंने अपनी पार्टी एफिलिएशन को मेंशन किया है, फिर और उसके वो तमाम कैंडिडेट्स ने इसी फॉर्मेट को फॉलो किया होगा। ये ऑन ओथ है, और इसमें आर्टिकल 62, 63 का भी रेफरेंस है कि अगर वायलेट करते हैं